What's up, folks? Welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. I am joined with investigative journalist, filmmaker, and humanitarian Jonathan Otto. Man, thank you for joining me, Jonathan.
Oh, welcome. Thank you, David. I'm excited to be with you.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is some groundbreaking stuff we're going to be talking about. Ever heard of red light therapy, folks? We're going to get into that. In fact, there's so many clinics all around, even in this area of El Paso. I've seen red light therapy saunas, clinics. I don't really know much about it, so I'm going to be asking you some like real amateur questions. But first, get your healthy fat, folks. As it turns out, the key to losing weight and keeping it off is not in the carbs or fat or even in probiotics rich foods. No, the end game of having a healthy weight, as well as more energy and a long, healthy life, comes down to a specific switch you can flip on in your body to flush out unnecessary calories. Dr. Stephen Gundry is calling this a caloric bypass. And by activating a specific process in your body, he has seen thousands, yes, thousands of people dramatically improve their health, even at age 50 and beyond. This includes losing weight, getting tons more energy, and returning to the good health they had in their youth once they simply address this one key issue to better health. Not only that, this is actually associated with improved digestion, strong feeling joints and muscles, smoother skin, and healthier lives. Meaning, it could be the key to a healthy, happy life. Dr. Stephen Gundry has lost 70, folks, 70 pounds himself using his research and has kept the weight off for over 20 years and counting. His digestive issues are gone. His health is fantastic, and he feels younger and healthier today than he did in his 40s. His video has been watched by 20 million people to date, and you can watch and learn more about it at thehealthyfat.com/Nino. It's down there in the link below, folks. Hit it, get started. Speaking of health, here we are. We're going to be talking about some things here that I'm totally new to because I've heard about red light therapy. I've heard about these things, never really tried it. I have always thought, too good to be true. Red light therapy, what could it possibly do? You're here to say otherwise.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's not a fad. I kind of thought the same thing, but your body responds to light, and that's just the bottom line. But yeah,
So is it like at a DNA level, or what are we talking about here when you say
yeah.
red light therapy? Like red light, like lasers, red light, like a red light, like what kind of red light does it need to be?
Oh yeah, sure. Because yeah, so it's really hitting the powerhouse of the cell, which is the mitochondria, so the energy production. And so you're interfacing all the time with light, and your body needs light so much so that if you go to parts of the world where they don't get enough light, like I remember being in Mongolia 20 years ago and seeing the children that looked, if they were 15, they looked like they were 5 years old, and they were getting no sunlight because of the fact that they were just in the snow and they were covered from head to toe all the time, through almost the whole year. Yeah.
Well, this is like depression, like people in England or wherever, like where it rains a lot, where it's always gray outside, you get really depressed. I'm even one of those people. Like if it's a gray outside for too long, I'm depressed. I'll get
Exactly.
weather depression.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And red light therapy allows people to get around that. So it's getting around the fact that, one, there are many times in the year that people can't get enough sun, but the issue is that, like, and when I start showing you these studies, it'll start making more and more sense why it's so effective for different types of conditions and challenges, things that a lot of people, they can be life threatening, because we're even going to talk about cancer. We're going to do that in a very kind of medically appropriate way. But imagine if you then had the sun, you were able to get directly against it and have the healing benefits of it without having any negative reactions like burning, which you can get from the sun. You obviously can't get that close to the sun.
This kind of brings me to something though, because what they're doing with our weather, which is, I can't really speak about on Fluff Tube, but how they're engineering that really is making the sun, with UV, I think that's a UVA, UVB, and UVC radiation is now they're starting to detect UVC is making it deadly for people, and then people are getting sick. Like this is, I just had Dane Wigington on talking about the geoengineering, and this is serious. It's like real, and
Yeah.
we're gonna have to look for alternative methods now to get what we need that would maybe what we're not getting from the sun anymore, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, wow. Yeah, look, that could be very well true. And the other thing that exists that with certain things that are being put into our atmosphere, this is part of the reason why lung cancer is, you have to come up with some reason why lung cancer is the biggest killer. So prostate cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer, lung cancer in death surpasses all of the other diseases that I just mentioned,
Lung
combined.
cancer does.
Yes, lung cancer is the most fatal.
But
So
do you think
what
it's
what are
because
you
the
breathing?
uptick in smoking and vaping and all that and
No,
smoking marijuana? I mean,
no,
most
you
everybody's
can't.
smoking something.
Because, well, it depends what kind of niche you're in, but most people don't smoke. It only accounts for, typically around 5% of the population. And so like lung cancer, that was where it all got blamed on the smoke. But there are things in our atmosphere, chemicals in our homes that we're breathing in constantly, formaldehyde, and indoor air pollution is huge. Studies have shown that indoor air can be 100 times more toxic than outdoor air. So you think that everything's fine, but all these flame retardants are, going in your body. And, so there's lots of different reasons why people are getting like all these poisons in their lungs. And then, coming over to the solutions, then you're saying, well, how could red light therapy help with these kinds of conditions? And I'll give you an example, and this one will blow your mind because, again, it's not something that you would typically think would be a solution. Like, let's say, for example, if you got a diagnosis of breast cancer, would you think of, red light therapy? So you can see my screen there. You can see breast cancer there, David.
Yes.
Yeah. So 4 different red light wavelengths were studied in this particular study, and this is on PubMed, by the way. Here's the study, so you'll see it, with your own two eyes. The results are so shocking that I had to show you the study because you kind of wouldn't believe this. So these were the wavelength studies: 630, 660, 730, and 615. They were used in the investigation. Only the wavelength of 660 nanometers was able to stop cell proliferation after 24 hours by how much? 40%.
Damn.
And then under TMF micrograph, cells revealed that red light at 660 nanometers induced autophagy in breast cancer cells, which led to the development of anti-proliferative activity. And so here's the study here, and you can see it here. So they took the breast tumor 24 hours after the exposure to red light and saw a drop by 40%.
What? So wait a minute. So here I am thinking like, okay, and I'm sure my audience is thinking, okay, red light therapy. What is that? You sit in a room with red lights beaming on you? Do you get under a machine? I mean, is it a medical machine? Like, what is red light therapy, dude? I don't even know what it is. Is it like I've seen it at a clinic. I have not even gone in there to try. I've heard of red light therapy saunas.
Yeah.
Is this something you do weekly, monthly? Like, and folks, this
Yeah.
is not an infomercial, by the way. Like, we're
Yeah.
talking serious here. I'm not trying to sell anything,
No,
but I'm being serious here. I like to bring solutions to my audience. What is red light therapy?
Yeah. Well, exactly, David. So one, yes, it is medical, but it could also be understood as, I mean, a very practical, an equipment that is in your home, or you could go to these therapy centers. That the challenge with that is that, because you talked about intervals, how often, and the best studies are if you get exposed every 24 hours. There was even one study, this was Birmingham University, and they found that if it was a 1 minute exposure, which is so low that we never tell people to do only that little, but it increased cell viability by 45% over 5 days, just 1 minute of exposure to red light. So, and this was actually, and then it showed that the light then for the cells then had the effect that made the cells neuroprotective. So it was protecting brain cells. And it was actually a specific, a spinal injury repair model. So it actually was helping with spinal injury. And it was a rat study. And so several of these studies I'm going to share are in vitro, meaning that they're done in a petri dish, then others in rats, and then others in humans, like the one I mentioned to you off camera on lymphoma, which was people. And the fact that they all went in remission is like super shocking. And it's kind of, and then we were trying to work out, can we say this or not on these platforms? but it's on PubMed. We're just going to read directly from the study. We're not promising, we're not saying therefore this means XYZ for you, but this is what the studies say. So we just want to show you what the literature shows. But to answer your question in regards to intervals, having an equipment in people's homes makes sense, and that's why and I do that, like in terms of with my research and with my companies, different things we've done, and we've innovated in various areas of medical technology, and so we offer these types of things. So but yeah, we're just to prove your point though, David, we're just super interested in people getting educated, because it's really just about people knowing, because I really don't care what people do. I just want people to know the information, then it's off my chest, because how many people suffer from these diseases?
What else? I mean, okay, so it obviously helps cancer patients. What other diseases does it affect?
Well, so it's all different types of wavelengths, different conditions. So it's everything from tinnitus to arthritis,
Inflammation.
all inflammation based, stem cell regeneration. So just
if by simply having a red, like what these red light panels on you, what are these panels?
Yeah, they're LEDs, which is not typically associated with anything good, like LEDs. How is that helpful? But a high power LED, and because notice how I was talking about wavelengths, they're all LEDs, which you would think, oh, how can LEDs be effective? And then what about all this stuff with LEDs being damaging for our health? And the answer is high flicker rate. So if you're around a light that has high flicker, you can't even see the flicker, but it's turning on and off, on and off, and on and off. And so it's damaging for your body, and these low quality, devices and things like this. But high quality devices that have low they have no EMF output, and then they don't have the flicker, then they're the ones that are in all these studies. And so here, okay, you'll love this. Look at this. I'll show you what various types of conditions, sorry, just pulling this up here, are being helped with the use of red light therapy at different types of wavelengths.
I'm completely new to this, folks. I don't know anything about red light therapy, but I've seen it in different places, and I've always wondered, what is it? I just thought it was a gimmick.
I know, same here.
It seems that
years
way.
ago, I thought that way. Well, think about this, David. Genesis 1 in the Bible, depending on all the different beliefs of the audience, and but there's these words where it says, "Let there be light," and then light then is the thing that precedes all things. And then if you look at how these recurring themes, and the fact that if you look back through history, I mean, there's a Nobel Prize won by Finson back in it was around 1895, around there. He'd basically then created these light baths, and people were bathing in light, and they were putting various diseases in remission. And then John Harvey Kellogg, then Dr. Andre Mester in 1967, the Hungarian physician. But they were then studying these different wavelengths over time, especially by the 60s, and then by the 2000s, this technology really picked up to the point where I could show you thousands of studies on all of these. So this is the depth of penetration here. But I'll come back to this, because this is what people are going to get obsessed about. So it's the depth of penetration. So if I say 630 nanometers, I'll go back here. And so you'll see that 630 is going to hit through the epidermis into the dermis. 480 is blue light, and it's going to go through the epidermis and just touch on the epidermis.
Well,
and 660.
I'm pretty crazy. I'll probably go for the most powerful gauge here. Pretty sure I'll be doing the 1060, but I like to go all out. So yeah, but go ahead.
I'm glad you're saying that. But here's the weird thing. This is the weirdest thing. Do you notice what I shared before? There was 4 different wavelengths tested for breast cancer. There was only one that was effective, so effective for breast cancer, and it was 660. So why did 660 work? And then you'd say, yeah, but I thought the 1060 would go deeper. But the answer is, if light interacts with that certain part of the body, and then that certain part of the body has the information that needs to be interacted with, that needs to be needs to be resolved, it needs energy production, needs basically what cells need for their health and to function normally. Cells actually need light, and so you should actually think about light before you even think of nutrition.
Wow.
Yeah. And you're about to see reason for that. So here's all the different wavelengths.
No wonder they want to block out the sunlight, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And make us afraid of it. Have us put on things to make sure
sunscreen.
that, you know, look at the ingredients and what those ingredients can cause. And then people think, oh, the sun is causing all these different diseases, but you know, so I can't myth bust too much on this platform, but
Right.
you get the point here. And you know, the sun is incredibly helpful, but I would say the sun is in moderation, but red light isn't in moderation as well. So you can't, you know, be there all day. But anyway, so here's the depth. So 660, it's starting to get to the subcutaneous tissue through the dermis, muscle, bone, interior tissues up from 810 to 1060. Now let's look at the conditions that are effective at those different wavelengths. So weight loss at 630, 660, 810, 850. And so yes, this is actually being used as an alternative to liposuction, and people are losing inches. And this is from doctors.
How long does it take?
There's weird videos out there from the doctors reporting what their patients have. There are times when their first session they're taking inches off waist because it's interacting with a certain aspect of their body where the fat cells that, you know, there's all this inflammation, but you resolve that quickly with light, and then these things resolve quickly. But you know, it's not my area, so I can't say, you know, all the specifics, but I've gone through the doctor's reports on that, and it's sometimes super quick. But generally, I would say with anything like this, if somebody just, you know, chooses to get, like, if they get a device, they do it daily, then they can expect, you know, benefits in that 30 days, 60-day, like they can expect benefits in as little as a week, but it's just better to have a you know, under promise and over deliver. But look at this, fat burning is in all those categories, all those wavelengths, cellulite reduction, metabolism, all these things that, you know, people struggle with so much, and that they're spending a lot of money on other things to try and help resolve: anti-aging, acne, scars, rosacea. And I could never say any of this if I didn't have clinical studies that back all of it. And I'll show some more studies on these. Hair growth. So people are losing hair and they feel pretty
there's
hopeless
helmets
about it.
with that stuff, man.
There you go. Exactly. Because they do work. And I've seen lots of reports on that. We've seen lots of reports on the stuff that we've done with our devices for people's heads. So hair growth is that you can see the wavelengths there, sun damage, wrinkles and fine lines, droopy eyelids, under eye circles, broken capillaries. So some respond in all of these wavelengths that we're showing, and then some only in others. And then pain relief, not in 630, but in the rest, wound healing, injury healing. These are the higher frequencies as well, with 940 and 980. And then muscle building all the way up to 980. Athletic performance, post-recovery workout, mental stamina, cognitive performance. So cognitive performance, really good. Mental stamina at 1060. So there are benefits to that wavelength. And this is part of the reason why as well, when I researched this, we wanted to put all of those wavelengths into a single device so that people could get it all at once.
It looks like the sweet spot is like 850, huh?
Yeah, you like it. Yeah. Well, look,
it seems like.
Well, 850 is amazing, and 660. If I was to say my two favorites, it would be 850 and 660. 850 is near infrared, so if you have a device and you turn it on, you will not be even able to see that light.
There's no side effects to this.
No, like the only side effects that you could possibly have would be if you put it on for like 2 hours, 4 hours, which you're supposed to do it for 3 hours, you could have some swelling, but you may also have done a lot of good healing in that time. But nobody that teaches people about this encourages people to do that long time period. So if you do it as advised, then the studies all show, like all the studies I've read show no side effects. And so asthma, depression, anxiety, tinnitus, arthritis, multiple sclerosis. This one, stem cell regeneration, because if you can regenerate stem cells, you could basically repair everything in your body. Parkinson's disease, hypertension, liver function, sperm and fertility, mobility of the sperm, herpes, cold sores, genital, acne, circadian rhythm, skin rejuvenation, wound healing. That's a little bit in terms of, what the different categories are of how red light therapy is helping with different conditions, David.
That's, I have a lot of people that contact me for their healing devices and machines and stuff like that. And I have one here that's supposedly supposed to repair DNA. I don't know. I've never had any of them show me what you just showed me, to be honest. So how many times a week are you supposed to do this every day to get the results you want, how are people benefiting the most? Can you do it once a week? Can people go to a clinic and sit in front of a red light therapy machine for 20 minutes a week? I mean, I don't even know what's the desired amount here?
the debates in the medical community on this are between 24 to 48 hours.
A week.
So, no, as in the interval. So meaning that if you did it every 48 hours, that would be arguably the minimum that would give you the best results. And then others would argue, no, everyone would argue every 24 hours is best. And the other thing is, like you and me, we're busy people, right? So how do we justify this? But then you look at the Birmingham study and it was showing that it was only 1 minute. And so if you literally just say, yeah, sure, I don't have any time for anything, but you know what? I've got to just lift these weights for 5 minutes. So I may as well do it in front of the red light, or I've got to listen to this audiobook for a second. I may as well just turn it on and stand next to this red light. 5 minutes, 20 minutes is amazing. And it's kind of like a magical number. 30 minutes is kind of like the maximum. You rotate your body in front of it. But if somebody did it once a week, it would be tremendously beneficial. So people just have to choose their thing, but people are also getting their eyesight back doing it. So
I'm very intrigued with this. My buddy sent me for my back a red light belt. It's a belt that you put around your back for like back pain, and it takes the back pain away. Is this a full body thing, or is this something you could just put on certain specific areas? Because I have one now that I'm thinking about. I'm like, wow, if that's the case, if you just expose one part of your body, your whole body benefits, right?
Yes. Yes and no. Like if you're trying to get it to a certain area, like there's a lot of people here on the call that need to fix their gut. And so the best thing to do is put that on your gut. So if you had something like a belt, put it, directly over your gut, and that'll be amazing. And it will be most beneficial for that area, but it will be systemic because those cells are getting their charge and what they need, and that it's electromagnetic, and the whole body is going to benefit. So that's true. But the ideal is to get it to every area of the body. And so to use a full body panel, which, they would be generally, they're a bit over 3 feet. And so then you would be from the head to the groin and then rotate your body. And then you could also do your legs.
So wait a minute. These are like panels?
Panels. Yeah, exactly.
So a panel, and then you sit in front of the panel, you turn it on, you can adjust the strength of the panel, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can turn off like certain lights on it. Like you can, I'll show you what they look like here. And the other thing that people need to do, because they need to look at irradiance levels. So this is an example, like how much power, which is milliwatts per centimeter squared, and at 3 inches, it's 205.8 on this particular device that my company, which is Red Life. And then we've put all the 8 spectrum that you saw from 480 to 1060. So we put
I told
every
my
one of those wavelengths.
audience this is not an infomercial, but you do sell these things. I swear, folks, I swear I didn't know I was going to be doing this, but it's okay because I find this very interesting. I don't have any perks in this at all. I'm actually intrigued by this, but these panels, I've seen these panels at clinics. So you can go to a clinic, folks, and get this done. I'm not selling this stuff. I just want to make that clear. But obviously you are, and I'm not taking anything away from you, but
no, exactly. And you can steer this whichever way you want, because I don't mind. I'm always happy to just educate. I'm also happy to share with people, like, here's great ways to get this, and how to get them.
How big is this panel? Are they different sizes?
Yeah, exactly. So that one is 3 feet. Okay. And then you look at something like this. Let me show you. Then you got like smaller devices. And so let me see here. Like you've got a smaller device like this. But so you can always look for the things that there's a screen I was looking for. So then you see the irradiance level of a smaller device, which looks more like this.
Can I see one actually working on somebody? Can I? Oh wow, there's.
Yeah, sure.
So let me see that. Hold on, let me see what you. Exit out of the screen for a second. I want to see how that looks.
Yeah, sure. Let's go 1 second here.
So that's a smaller one, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. And so, obviously my favorite is the full body panel, but this is good for illustration purpose here.
So I would imagine put it right next to your bed.
Oh yeah, you could, because then you might motivate you more because you've just woken up.
Damn. I mean, I would. Wow, dude. That's cool.
So
So,
some people will start freaking out and say, "Oh, Jonathan, you need eye protective wear." But the studies also show that if you're putting it on your eyes for 3 minutes a day, that you could get 17-18% eye improvement
oh, my
in
eye's
a slit
terrible
or
right now. I just said, well, I'm just getting older.
yeah. I've got a few different solutions for that. One of them is something that everyone will laugh at me for, but which is urine directly in your eyes.
No, do you know what? I know a lot of fighters that did that, and I never did it.
I've
Sorry.
seen people have like get their eyesight back by putting their urine in their eyes. I'm like,
well, looks like I'll lose all my eyesight.
oh, that's fine. Well, like you already did it when you were
I'm
a
pissing in
baby.
my face.
You did it when you were a baby in the womb. You drink
True. Yeah.
hundreds of milliliters of urine per day in the
I've
womb,
heard this so many times, bro.
and you'd open your eyes in the womb, and so
Get it.
your eyes were actually made from the stem cells that were in your urine. Like there was 100 million stem cells found in a 24-hour urine sample from the Wake
I'd rather
Forest
do the
study.
red light therapy. How about that?
Well, there you go. Exactly.
All right.
That there's lots of options for people.
So hold on. Let me look at that again. Let me take a look at
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one more time. And folks, I'm not selling this. I'm not selling this. I didn't even know we were going to be doing it. Did I know we were going to do this?
It sounds like you did. No, you didn't.
I didn't know we were going to do this. I really thought this was because
No,
I know
no,
you
exactly.
were the publicist set this up, and you've worked with Dr. Artist, and you filmed. You actually his producer, right? For his
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Let's
And
not say the
director.
name of the film because
Yeah, yeah.
it's
We can't
corrupted,
even say the name.
yeah, but here we are doing red light therapy. So wow. Okay, so hold on one second. So how big did these devices come?
How big do they come?
Yeah.
The other device that I have there is literally like maybe 4 times this size, and it just goes all the way down to the. So
How much does something
I
like
wish.
that cost?
Oh, this one is $499, right? So just under 500.
How long does it last?
And this, it's 100,000 hours, which is about it's like technically over 100 years.
Yeah.
But it's a 3-year warranty, like with our company. But in terms of the rated lifespan is 100,000 hours. So they last kind of basically forever with the whole family using them.
Wow. Okay. So
and
and then the next one up from that, how big is that?
yeah, that's the one I really want to show you. Yeah, do you have a second? I can run and grab it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Wait. All right. So here we go, man. All right.
Holy cow. What does that one cost? 1,000, 1,500 or something?
Yeah, exactly. 1,400.
Can I see that again? Well,
Yeah.
can I see it again? What the hell am I saying? Can you
Yeah, let's
yeah. So that's
give you-
ideal, right? That's the biggest one.
Yes, exactly. And it has a full body stand, which is great. So it allows you to fully lie underneath it or stand up against it. But yeah,
So it
then
has
you'll
a
see the power.
stand. It has a stand, and
Yeah.
wow. So what do? Go into a dark room and plug this in, or what?
Yeah, exactly. Ideally in a dark room, but you really could do it in any room because you're getting up really close to it. You're about 3 inches away. And then you've got to be fully naked in front of it. You don't have to be, but it's way better. And
Yeah.
it's amazing for testosterone, sexual health. So
Really?
yeah, of course.
Dude,
No, of course. It's
you're
just
selling me on this.
yeah. It's really funny, man. For me, I was just researching all these types of things for cancer, but like all the cosmetic benefits and the sexual health benefits and it really is something that is changing people's lives and giving people their lives back. Like the thing that really motivates me is seeing all
Can
the
you
stroke.
do it in a light room? Like if I have all my lights on, can I plug that in and put it in front of me, or does it not work?
Oh yeah, totally. No, it's not going to be a problem. They just, it's slightly better in front of a dark room, but just think about the fact that you're only 3 inches away, so there's no way to stop the amount of
So
power.
I gotta be close to it.
It's ideal. You could be a foot
Yeah.
away or a foot and a half away, and you'll still get a lot of benefit.
What if
And
you're
then
like 6 feet away?
It will start diminishing because you look at the irradiance level keeps dropping, the amount of power keeps dropping. But if you're a foot and a half away and you're working out in front of it, you just could be there a little bit longer as well. So there's a couple ways to swing that, right? So
Wow.
you just think about
Wow,
that,
dude.
and then just the ability to use it. Like this is a stand. This is kind of heavy, but this is a stand. Like I can't quite show it here on the screen properly, but so that allows you to. It's set up right now for you to lie down with it. But
Okay, so if you get one of these, you want to spend about 20 minutes in front of it, or it doesn't really matter how long you spend in front of it, right? But you want to do longer than a minute.
Well, yeah, exactly. It'd be great to do longer than a minute, but like if you did a minute, it would be extremely beneficial based on the Birmingham study, which I didn't think it would work at that little time. But I just got out surfing this morning, so I'm still like feeling the heat because I'm in Puerto Rico, so it's
Oh,
great
nice.
surf
You're not
down here
scared of
right now.
sharks,
The
dude?
water's warm. No sharks. No, what did you say, sharks?
You're not scared of sharks? But see,
Oh, bro.
you're a little, you're not a, you're a littler guy, right? You're like what, a buck 30?
Uh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
I'd
much do
be
you weigh? Like 130
I
pounds?
know, like 160 pounds.
Let's see, if I
And
go out there, I'm like 260, 270. They're gonna think I'm a hurt sea lion and they're gonna eat me, dude. You see my logic in this? I just know if I'm out there, I can be like, what is that? That's
I
big,
did.
it's tasty. It's gonna look, they're gonna want to, and don't they come in and just take a bite and then they leave you and then
No,
they come back and finish you. But me,
that's
I'll look like I'm a seal that's struggling in the water.
I
That's
would
what I'll
say
look
that
like. You don't look like that. I'll look like that. Get what
I
I'm
would s-
saying?
no, I would say that that's a great story that you've told yourself. But like there's just no shark attacks here, man. Like ever.
Until I get
And
in the water.
exactly, there's another story.
Until I get there, and then
Man,
boom.
you get in the car and drive down the street and do dangerous things like that. I mean,
I
that's
just, dude,
dangerous.
I have nightmare, dude. I just don't like the ocean. Anyway, sorry, man. Yeah.
No, it's no, look, I would go through some kind of hypnosis reprogramming on that. Or do
yeah,
some
yeah.
trauma
And this is coming from a guy
recovery.
who fought 40 times in the ring. Okay. I was a champion fighter. I mean, it's fuck the ocean, man. I don't know, man. The ocean gets me. But go ahead. What are we looking at
Oh
here?
no, that's cool. Yeah, well, this is the stuff that gives a lot of people hope, and that like I mean, these beautiful cases. One of the ones I was going to mention was children that like have had strokes and they can't function normally, and red light therapy has given these children their lives back. There's some great cases on that. Maybe I
This
have
is
the chance to share.
unbelievable.
Oh, it's just beautiful, and that's what motivates me. And but so this one was amazing because it was on lung cancer, and it was showing here in one stage of the trial, near infrared light was placed on tumor areas, causing the cell membranes to rupture and ultimately leading to cell death. And then they're using a photoabsorber, which is either a drug or a supplement that can help the absorption of the light. So there are things that you can take that you'll take them like berberine, much green tea is one of them, curcumin, which is from turmeric. So you could take these and then get in front of the light, and it's going to actually absorb. It's going to allow the organs and the cells to absorb that light at greater
Wow.
capacity. A study published on PubMed 2021 found that photobiomodulation produced an overall response of about 87% and enhanced patient quality of life. And then it showed to be an effective substitute for palliative chemotherapy or radiation in cases of incurable lung cancer. And that's the study right there. Um, and so breakthrough studies here, and then it
Well, we
was
got to
using this.
say, like, this does not cure anything because it is fluff tube. We got, you know what I mean? We got to cover our, I
Yeah,
have to.
exactly.
I have
Yeah,
to. So
no,
this
you
isn't,
do.
this is not,
This is not this is not intended to treat, cure, or
yeah,
diagnose any condition or
right.
disease.
Got to cover our
And
butts.
this is purely for educational purposes and entertainment purposes. We're just showing you various studies, and it's simply just for reflection purposes.
So
So we
where do people get this?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So you can go to myredlight.com.
Damn, dude, I kind of
And
wish I was part of this now.
yeah, no, you should be. And so like, and there's Dr. Brian Artis and I doing some
Yeah.
education. There's a long training here, and then you'll see my wife come up here on screen here in a second. But then yeah, well, yeah, you should. And I mean, we can give them a coupon code if you want to be nice to your audience. You just
Yeah,
tell me, and
absolutely. Of course.
yeah. And what would Nino be a good one?
What you're gonna see? They're gonna think we scripted this. I don't. I mean,
Then don't do it.
they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is their." I mean, dude. I mean, I
The
just, just, just go for it. What is it? What do they do here? They get the 297. Oh wow, a face mask.
Yeah, there's all the cosmetic stuff, but it's good it's really good for your face, and it's using all different wavelengths that are really good for these conditions.
So if
Look,
I join, well, hold on. But if I join now, they can actually. God, man, this is gonna look so bad. So they could like
I did. I don't care what people think. Like I'm the guy. Like 3 months ago, I was in Kenya, and which I've been for 13 years, I've been in Kenya, like working with people that are starving to death. I, bring my parents for the first time. People can look all this up. This is all very public. King's Ransom Foundation. I've been working very hard to save lives out there. People don't realize that. And then, like, I've emptied my bank account to, support causes like this, several times. And these are the things that really matter to me. And so, like, if I find something that can make a difference for people and I can bring out the best technology, and then
I'm already thinking about my parents. My mom has dementia. My dad has, an aneurysm that's ready to blow, and they're both 80. One's 89, one's 85. I don't, I'm going through a lot with them right now.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
it. I'm just thinking about them this whole time. I'm not even thinking about me. I'm just thinking about them. So
that's exactly. It's the same with me with my dad. Like I'm like with my dad, I brought him out to Kenya, and he'd been complaining about his knees for a long time. I spent like $25,000 on stem cells for his knees. Red light therapy to me is so much better because you've got stem cells in your body.
What?
And
dude, and there's a lot of people selling those patches right now.
Oh yeah, X39.
Have you seen those? I'm not big on those. A lot of people have approached me to sell them. I'm like, I've tried it. I don't know. I don't feel much of anything, but I have used the back thing, the red light back thing, and it's taken away my back pain.
Oh, it has. Oh, there you go.
So that's amazing. Know that this stuff, and I didn't even put this together. Jeez.
That's so funny. Yes, I'm so glad you're talking about that. Yes, like, and the one that you have, the one that's here on that page, people could use to take them out of pain, and like, as if I shouldn't do that, Yeah. So right. as if I shouldn't offer that if I know that it's going to be very beneficial. And then we literally did just get on the call. I was like, David, we should talk about red light therapy. And
dude, you just told me. I didn't. And I'm very transparent with my audience. A lot of people, sure, whatever, Nino. No, really, I didn't know. And they're probably like, why are you wearing a red hat then? They're going to probably like get conspiratorial with that shit.
Oh, dude. Those guys, there's nothing you can say to those people, though. You just got to laugh.
I didn't know I was going to be doing this, but guess what, folks? I think I'm going to get one. So can we put me up? Can you add me on there as a whatever, an affiliate or what?
Of course. Yeah. And most importantly for your audience, that like all that's going to happen is that we'll just give your audience like a special code to give them an extra 10% off, which is just really cool.
I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to get it for my parents.
Awesome. Yeah.
Let's talk after. So then I'll put this video up later, I guess, let's get me sorted out.
Oh, no,
can we just give them the promo code Nino? If you're watching this, I guess there'll be a promo code Nino now, or
we'll do it right away. Like it'll be ready in the next 2 minutes, right? So
this was completely unscripted. I did not know that this dude was selling anything, but now I know, and I want to be a part of it. So I'm into this type of stuff, and I'm big on health and fitness and healing, and if anything can help my parents, I'm gonna give it a shot, bro. Like no doubt. Like I'm gonna go for this. So.
Absolutely. And there's great other therapies that people can do from home that are free, like what we're talking about with there's some things I can't even say on YouTube about different therapies.
Remember I told you we're gonna put this on Rumble, we're gonna do whatever, and then boom, I was like, wow. I saw that you were affiliated with Dr. Artist, so I was like, okay, we gotta go on Rumble. I knew nothing about I went on this interview knowing nothing about it, did I? I was like, what are we gonna talk about today? Whoa, an investigative journalist, filmmaker. I thought we were gonna talk about your filmmaking.
Well,
and then you start talking about, and then you're like, well, I want to talk about red light therapy. I was like, all right, whatever. Yeah. And then boom, you hit me with this.
A lot of these top cancer clinics, like when I was a producer for the Truth About Cancer 10 years ago, and I was traveling to different clinics around the world that are getting such amazing results. And I wanted to be a part of the solution. It's really been exciting that I've been going back to a lot of these clinics, and they're getting me to train their doctors in understanding how to use red light to the best capacity, how to combine it with different tools, like that. That ranges from like methylene blue to curcumin to berberine, and I'll show some of those because this is what people aren't teaching on thyroid. Like there's so many women in the audience right now that their thyroids aren't working. Why am I targeting women? Because it's like a 10 to 1. For every one man that has a thyroid issue, 10 women have it. But like, so if you put red light against your thyroid, it'll increase your thyroid gland's capacity for regeneration. So it'll actually regenerate the thyroid gland, just like it will for any organ. Red light is going to work, and that's technically it's a few different lights. It's near infrared, red, and
So this
even the
is
blue
really how
light.
you combat what we're being bombarded with chemicals and toxins and
Yes,
I mean the stuff
because
they're
it takes
spraying in the fucking skies. I mean the whole thing.
yeah, Alzheimer's, for example, red light has been proven to pull formaldehyde out of the brain, and that is linked to Alzheimer's. And so here's the one for lymphoma. You'll love this one. So a 2006 pilot study reported the successful treatment in 3 patients with indolent CBCL, which is cutaneous T-cell lymphoma and B-cell lymphoma, and the patients received photodynamic therapy. And so that's using a photosensitizing agent, which is like a supplement or a drug at the same time to help the absorption of the light. They're using the 630 nanometer wavelength at this is 37 joules per centimeter squared. Look at the finding of this, and I'll show it directly from the study. All patients received or achieved complete remission after up to 2 PDT, photodynamic sessions, with no significant side effects or pain. And then if you look at it specifically, it's here where I'm hovering my mouse, and a 630 nanometer wavelength light emitted by a diode lamp. So these are LEDs, they're light, the same technology, was used at a fluence of 37 joules per centimeter squared for the session. All treated patients had complete remission, defined as a clinical and histologic complete absence of CBCL after a maximum of, get this, after a maximum of 2 photodynamic sessions at an interval of 1 week, or a 1-week interval. No patient experienced particular side effects, and the pain was easily managed after the PDT sessions. So
That's
think
incredible.
about like the lives that are getting reclaimed from this, and people like your parents.
Show the site again. Where do they go to?
Yeah, myredlight.com.
So we're gonna do the code, right? We're gonna do a Nino code.
Yeah, do Nino. And so at any time you're watching this, and we'll keep that available for.
So am I gonna get my own link or something?
Well, this will be it. So they can go here to myredlight.com, and then they can use that code, and then that will make sure that, you know.
So what happens when they use Nino?
Well, they will get 10% off anything. So like, which is great because, like, you know, this is the belt, like the belt you were talking about, and that covers the whole surface area, and you can watch the videos on it. So it'll show you everything.
Let me see the belt.
Yeah, this is the belt here.
Oh, cool.
Let me see if I can. Yeah, it wraps around well, and I've seen elderly people get out of pain, which is amazing. But you know, I'm
gonna give this to my mom, my dad, and my mom.
It'll be a game changer. And with her, you know, we should look at getting her like a full device that allows her to get that fully radiance, like the 1500 watt, to me, because it's got all the 8 wavelengths. Because, you know, like you're sitting there going, okay, which wavelength do I use for which thing? And that's why we put all 8, and we put a high concentration in the big hitters.
So it's just like a little remote. You just go up.
Yeah,
down,
you can use a remote, or you just use it on the side of the device. But the key is, if you just have it on with the red and near infrared, it'll have all the wavelengths on at the same time, which is what I would recommend.
Nice.
Because there's no contraindications that some wavelength is bad for you. So then, yeah, and then so you'll see there it's got that stand there that comes with it, and then also, like we talked about, photosensitizers, and that's why we gave away a great like supplement bundle with that. And this was all about just giving people like great value. And so, yeah, so like we'll just keep that available for a limited time there. But if people jump in, they can grab that. They can get that discount, so we've put a lot of discounts there already on the page, and you add the code Nino, and then you'll get an additional 10% off that.
Let's get that. Let's get that set up right here. Let's do it right now.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah, absolutely.
All right, folks, get to the site. It's
absolutely.
Red. What does it say?
myredlight.com.
myredlight.com. All right, I'm gonna join, dude. I'm gonna join you right here.
That's
stay
awesome.
with me. Stay with me real quick. Go ahead and exit the yeah, folks. So get on this. I'm gonna join right now. So stay with me. I'm gonna jump on with you, and then I use the code Nino. You got me, bro. You got me. I'm a sucker.
You're awesome, bro. No, you're awesome.
It. Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
You got a big heart. You love your family and you love your audience.
I'm gonna use it for my parents. Absolutely. So stay right with me. Stay with me. We're gonna get me signed up right now. Thank you.
Awesome.